What's going on?
My bad.
What was that, Jay?
Man, I got this high tech table over here, man. All right.
What a way to start, huh?
Yeah. What's going on, y'all? I'm Jordan Jean Louis back with another episode of the JJ Sports Talk Show. And I got one of my right hand men, and Anka Phone. What's going on, my brother?
How we doing, Jay? Welcome back. Another week. Let's kick it, brother.
Well, for this show, we got a little furry friend. Rosie's with me.
Oh, look at Rosie.
The first episode. Stop it.
Look at that crazy puppy. What's she up to? How's she been doing?
She's trying to get some cardboard, but Rosie, stop it. But yeah, she's doing good. She's just in the office with me. I wanted to put her on for a couple of shows, last shows, but I guess we didn't really have time. But
yeah, she was still maturing. How old is she now? When did you get her?
So she was born September 4th. So I think 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Was February 4th. So yeah. So about around 6 months. So she'll be a year.
Born September
4th. Yeah. So she's like still
like 5 months. 5 months. Yeah, 5 months.
5 months, 6 months. Yeah. But yep. So we're back with another. Hopefully, our partner in crime, Maz, will join us soon.
Yeah, Maz is having some technical issues with his router. We'll get that sorted out soon. He'll join midway through if we can. But if not, it's just us tonight, Jay. So let's just get right into it. Our NFL hour starting up first, and big news after Sunday's Pro Bowl. Former All-Pro running back for the New Orleans Saints, Alvin Kamara, was arrested in Las Vegas on charges of assault and battery against one man in a bar in Las Vegas, and it was very shocking. I mean, we know Alvin Kamara. We've seen him over the years. He's definitely been one of the faces of the league now for the last few seasons, known as a really nice guy. He's always lighthearted. You always see him laughing, and just to see him sort of snap like that and hurt a guy like that, and now he's facing some criminal charges, and now he's in some pretty deep stuff right now. So Jay, I want to just bounce this off you real quick. What was your first reaction when you heard the news that Alvin Kamara was in jail?
Well, I think today he got out. He got released on bond. So he's out of jail, but I believe his next court case is March 8th next month. I don't know. Like, I watched the Pro Bowl a little bit. I lied. I really didn't watch anything. I mean, apparently he got arrested after the game. If I'm not mistaken,
it was after the game.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing for one of my assignments, I covered one of the stories. And I covered Calvin Kamara, and apparently that battery case, because different laws or different states have different with crimes and stuff. And I according to that department, that charge, that battery charge, he can face up to 1 to 5 years in state prison. So with the investigation still going on, I'm not sure if they will, since they're still conducting it, see what happened at the nightclub. It's too early to decide what the punishment will be, but who knows? Like, that's a big deal. Like, he's like I said, a Pro Bowler. It just goes to show that, like, even the situation like Henry Ruggs is another situation, but still in the same state, they don't play around in Vegas. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I was sort of I didn't watch any of really the Pro Bowl. I've never really watched the Pro Bowl ever. It's nothing that I really get entertained by. I was sort of hanging with one of my friends here in my dorm, and then all of a sudden he just quickly just burst out, yeah, Alvin Kamara just got arrested, and I was like, what? The Pro Bowl just ended. I literally saw a highlight of him, like it was like the 2-hand touch play when he was getting like 2-hand touched, and I was like, I just saw that highlight on Instagram. He just got arrested now, and he's like, yeah, assault, and I was like, that's nothing to play around with. Assault is not something you can take lightly, because something must have set him off, because no way he would snap on a guy just snap. So there must have been some prior argument to the whole fight and ordeal. But Just
I mean, I saw a report saying I think it wasn't just him; it
a
was like
video
another
came
person.
out. Apparently, there's
Yeah,
video
no, I
that
saw
came
a
out that
report saying that it was him and another person involved in the altercation. And I might have to go back on that, but
yeah, I saw that there was a video that came out that kind of supported the victim's claim that he was sort of the one who started it, but it's just not a good thing. Alvin Kamara's coming off a big season. I mean, he's now five in his first 5 years in the league. He's been a Pro Bowl all 5 years. Two-time second team All Pro, Rookie of the Year. This guy has been one of the most promising running backs in recent memory. One of the best dual threat running backs that we've seen. And the Saints now, in a matter of 2 seasons, have lost Sean Payton, Drew Brees, Michael Thomas might be soon leaving. And now Alvin Kamara, we don't know what's going to go on with him. So the Saints' future is in grave jeopardy, Jay.
yeah. I'm not sure if the Saints hired a new coach, but I
think they did. I didn't grab his name, but I could pull it up real quick.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like I mean, they need a new quarterback. I heard that James Winston might be traded. Michael Thomas.
By the way, their head coach, defensive coordinator Dennis Allen, just got promoted. That just happened yesterday. So
okay, so it's like an in-house kind of
in-house job. He just got promoted. So yeah, they just hired a new head coach. They're having a rebuild. They have a huge cap space problem. They have one of the worst dead cap hits in the entire league right now. Taysom Hill's getting paid a lot of money, and they're barely using him. Jameis Winston's coming off a bad injury. The Saints' future right now is in jeopardy. I mean, the NFC South has always been up for grabs now that Tom Brady's retired, because now the Bucs are going to be substantially weaker. The Falcons are nowhere close to being ready. Neither are the Panthers. So the NFC South, with all these teams severely depleted, is really up for grabs. And the Saints, you got to wonder what the next step is for them.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good like I said, I'm not sure if pending further investigation, I'm not sure if maybe he'll be dealt with a suspension for the beginning of the year, depending on how serious the altercation was and what. Like we've seen with the Henry Ruggs situation, they're talking about in the beginning of the year. Vegas does not play around. I mean, I know it's up in New York. It's a city that never sleeps. The nightlife is crazy, and it just shows to show if you're an NFL player or an NBA player or a pro player that nightlife can catch up with you. And like. In Ruggs' situation, it ended with death, which shouldn't be. It's not good. And this one, it was with a fight. So,
yeah, tough break.
I don't know who's in the Kamara's corner telling him what not and not to do. But I think this is his first altercation.
I mean, yeah, he's never been a guy to have problems like this. He's always been a guy that kids can look up to. He's always been a guy who always done the right thing. He's always had a great personality. And it's tough to see this happen to such a nice young bright star who's had one of the greatest starts to a career in recent memory that I've seen. But Alvin Kamara arrested in Las Vegas. Trial will be happening in a month on assault and battery charges. Tough break for the Saints. Well, moving on, Jay. We were waiting for this. This is part 2 of our Super Bowl predictions. Remember we were talking about this last week. We were going to sort of split it up into 2 segments because we had 2 shows before the Super Bowl. So let's just carry back up with the conversation that we had last week. I know Matt's not here. Maz is not here. But what are you seeing now? What can you predict? What do you think do you expect from the Super Bowl 56 matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals?
Did we make predictions last week?
We did. I think you and Matt both said Rams.
Did you write down
Bengals.
The scores?
I didn't think I did. I might have. I don't know if I have them here in front of me though. So
I thought I went with the Rams.
You went with the Rams. I know that you and Matt went with the Rams, and I went with the Bengals.
I think I'm going for the Rams, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals make a comeback.
That's exactly what you said. I remember that word for word. That's exactly what you said.
Yeah, because Joe Burrows. I gotta give that man his flowers, man. And he's proven to me that he can come back against. He proved to me against the Chiefs. I'm going with the Rams because obviously they got a star-studded front on the defensive side with Aaron Donald, Von Miller, and Ramsey. And then they got players on the other side, Cam Akers, Beckham, and they have Cooper Kupp. I'm looking at the Rams because the Rams, they are at their home playing in LA. Yo, and speaking of the Super Bowl, did you see the prices of the tickets?
Isn't like a nosebleed seat like $2,000 right now?
Ridiculous, man. Like,
how do you expect fans to come see this game if you're giving absurd ticket prices?
yeah, I mean, I saw one seat, it was like 6,000. That's like my tuition, man. That's crazy, bro.
That's like 2 classes here.
That's insane. And I think Chad Johnson came out and said, like, he posted a picture of like the stadium, like the prices. He was like, oh, like, how are you, if you're a diehard fan, how are you gonna have ticket prices like skyrocketing? So, but yeah, I think I have the Rams beating the Bengals. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 30-24 Rams.
As of currently right now, the Rams are favored by 4 points to win by the sports books. And this whole playoff run has just been completely weird. We've seen a barrage of upsets, I should say, not mirage, but barrage of upsets. The Rams were a team that one of the two that we all figured would make the Super Bowl. I thought it was either going to be the Rams or it was going to be the Buccaneers. I didn't really have too much faith in the Packers just because we know their history, but the Rams made it. So one of the two teams that I expected to make it made it. On the other side of things, the AFC is just this entire season. I wouldn't even say the playoffs in general. It's just been this entire season has just been a whirlwind of just upsets, bad teams beating good teams falling, good teams picking back up, good teams that started off tanked. It's just been a weird year for the AFC, and it's only right that the Cincinnati Bengals made the Super Bowl this season, and it's not a fluke, I would say. I think this Bengals team is set up for success way down the line. They got a great team headed by one of the great young stars in this game in Joe Burrow. Joe Shiesty, whatever you want to call him. He's been one of the great stars of the game this year, coming off an ACL tear in his rookie season. He's one of the calmest, cool, collected players I've ever seen play the quarterback position at such a young age. I mean, I'm not going to say ever because, we've seen the Tom Brady's, the Joe Montanas, the Peyton Mannings. We've seen them do what they do. But Joe Burrow, at the age he's at and the part of his career he's in with the weapons he has and the offensive line he has, which is, don't get me wrong, this Bengals offensive line is really bad. But Joe Burrow is making it work despite all of that. And I think it's not a stretch for me to say the Bengals are better than the Rams right now. I think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins line out a receiving core and Tyler Boyd lead a receiving core that's one of the best in football right now. You got a defense with Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson making one of the great pass rushers in the game right now. The secondary, Eli Apple, Von Bell, and Jesse Bates have really performed well here in this playoffs. And this Bengals team is gritty. They have a identity right now, how they want to be. They have a great run game with Joe Mixon, Sam McPherson, one of the great kickers in the game so far in only his rookie season. This Bengals team is complete right now. I know they only have a really, I should say, mediocre to low-end offensive line, which, as we saw last season with the Chiefs, if you go into a Super Bowl with a bad O-line, it could have some dire consequences. But I don't think that's the case. I think this Bengals team is built, even with a bad O-line, to knock off these Rams. I know these Rams have a great front seven led by Leonard Floyd, Sebastian Joseph Day, and of course, what you mentioned, Aaron Donald. But this Bengals team has shown me time and time again. I picked against them against the Chiefs, and I thought the Chiefs were going to steamroll them. But this team shows that time and time again, when they get knocked back down, they can get back up. As a Ravens fan, it pains me to say, I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl this year. It's not a crazy stretch of the imagination. I think they're going to. Jay?
Well, really, what do you think, girl? You got Rams or Bengals? Well, she chose the Rams.
She's very quiet. I don't know if
I mean, she's a dog, man. But
Hey, what the dog doing?
no. Well, I'm a dog whisperer, so she said the Rams, man.
Oh right, yeah, of course she had the Rams because why do you think that, Rosie?
You want to talk? But no, she thinks that because the same way I do, like the Aaron Donald, Beckham. She thinks that she thinks whatever I think. I'm the boss. That's like oh, really. But yeah, I mean, all you said was good, man. Like I said, I mean, I choose the Rams, but I want to be surprised if Burrows and then make a late game comeback. Like we said on previous shows, that this Super Bowl it can go either way. And this is the first time, we haven't seen Brady. But it's not the first time, but not in a long time. Two teams that really weren't really expected.
I thought
to
the
be in
Rams
the
were
Super Bowl.
expected.
Huh?
The Rams were building for the Super Bowl.
I mean, but did you know that they're going to sign Odell Beckham midway through the season?
I mean, they were doing everything they
And
could.
Von Miller.
I remember I said a few weeks ago, if the Rams don't win the Super Bowl this year, their window's closed.
Everyone thought the Packers or the 49ers were going to make it, or
I thought it was me. I thought it was either going to be the Bucks or the Rams. Packers, they need to show me they could do it first. How many times have we seen the Packers get a 1 seed and then choke in either the NFC Championship game or the NFC Divisional round? It happens every single year I should say outside of the Super Bowl 45 year in the Rodgers era. Rodgers has never been a consistent playoff quarterback. I thought this Rams team was built to make a Super Bowl run. They finally have a competent pro quarterback. They have a very good passing game, one of the best in the league, and a defense that's built to go all the way. They built this team from the ground up. I mean, they've traded away their entire draft capital, their entire future. They have mortgaged their future on this Super Bowl, on this one game. And it's up to Joe Burrow and the Bengals to ruin it all. And you're right, Jay. I think the Rams right now, if we're going roster by roster, I do believe the Rams have a better roster. But I just think the Bengals are going to win in a 4-quarter grind them out game in a Super Bowl setting. The Bengals are going to win. Jay, that's just my final thought. Any final thoughts? Just one more thing you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Super Bowl is going to be epic. It's going to be in LA, bright lights. And I feel like I want my boy OBJ to get a Super Bowl, man, because I feel like he's been the only really moment he has was when he's on the Giants, but he made that one-handed catch. I mean, when he was his first couple of seasons in the league, he was injury prone, missed a couple seasons, but I want to see him win one. And maybe sports analysts around the sports world will debate if he wins the ring, will he be like a top 10, top 5 receiver? We'll see. Because we got all these like DeAndre Hopkins in the league. We have Deebo Samuel. We got all these top receivers, and OBJ is he's been kind of not talked about because he's been under bigger midfield in the Cleveland Browns. So now he got released, went to the Rams, got traded. And I'm excited to see him get a ring. But don't be surprised if Joe Shiesty might pull up and, make a comeback.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, Super Bowl happens Sunday, February 13th, SoFi Stadium. Bengals, Rams, tune in. I think the game's going to be on NBC this year, I believe. Yeah, NBC. So Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth will be on the call. So next story up on our NFL Power Hour, the GOAT, Tom Brady. We already mentioned last week that he retired. It was sad. The GOAT's gone. But recent comments brought up by Brady in of his podcast, Let's Go, said that he's not throwing away the potential of a possible comeback. Brady said in the interview on his Let's Go, I'm just going to take things as they come. I think that's the best way to put it, and I don't think anything, you never say never. Never say never, Jay. Is it possible that we see Tom Brady take a year break and maybe come back to the game?
As many sports fans will like him to come back, and I don't know. I mean, that's a hard question because I mean, as a sports fan, I would like to see him back playing next year, but I really don't think he's gonna come back. I mean, I know he might be teasing it for now. I just don't see what he has to prove, man. I mean, he's 7 rings, 7. I mean, so many Pro Bowl accolades, so many passing yards, so many pass touchdown numbers. I mean, what are there to prove? I mean, he's been there, he's done that. He might come back, maybe, because he said he wanted to do it till he's 45. So, but I don't see how he just comes out and like talk about his wife and his kids and how he wants to spend more time with them, and just to say like he's gonna come back. I mean, I don't think he'll come. Like you said last week, like when I asked you on the podcast, do you ever see Brady in a role like as a coach or GM? You said no, so I don't see him coming back like as a quarterback. I mean, and like each time I watched an episode of Men in the Arena, which is Tom Brady's documentary series, I gained more respect for him. Like I used to like hate him because like he always complained to the referees, and he invented or he started the tuck rule. So against the Raiders, against Charles Woodson, but I mean, this man has nothing to prove. And like I said, like we are in a new era of quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Burrows. And it's time for them to get their chance, man. So let Tom Brady retire. Let him, enjoy. I mean, he has his TB12 company. He has, everything. So, I mean, maybe he'll come back next season. Who knows? It's Tom Brady. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, Jay, I sort of see where you're coming from.
I don't know if I get that fine for saying Lamar Jackson, but I mean, I'm sorry, man. I mean, it's true. It's true.
You
It's
brought
in
up
context.
quarterbacks. Okay, it's fine. That one wasn't bad. All right, but back to what I was saying. I see where you're coming from. Tom Brady definitely, he's done his due diligence in the NFL. He started out in 2000. He's played 22 seasons. He's won 7 Super Bowls, 3-time MVP, 3-time first-team All-Pro, all-time passing yards leader, all-time passing touchdowns leader, first guy to 70,000 passing yards. He's just done it all. I mean, he's the GOAT for a reason. But when you have a guy like that who has a competitive edge, he wants to be the best. He always wants to go out and do it. Do you think he's going to be satisfied just sitting at home watching football next season and being like, I'm better than those guys. I could do it better than them. Why am I sitting at home? And you know what? I feel like a guy like Tom Brady's going to have thoughts like that. He's going to want to come back to the game. He wants to show that he still has it. And when he's sitting at home watching these games, that thought's going to come through his mind that maybe I should come back for another season. Try to go for number 8. But the problem is, which team do you think he would come back with? Because if he's going to come back for another season, he's going to want to come back to a team that's in a win-now mode. I think now that Brady's gone, the Buccaneers are going to go back into rebuilding mode again because they're gonna lose a lot of free agents because I think a lot of guys are lined up to leave this year. They're not going to be able to pay them all like they did last year. So Brady, if he ever does consider coming back to the league ever, which is still a huge maybe, you're going to have to look at the right team because he's not going to want to play for a rebuilding team. He's going to want to play for a team that wants to win a championship and that still wants his services too. You don't know if a year on the couch, people are still going to want Tom Brady's services in a year because we've seen stuff like that fizzle out and, guys sort of making a comeback story and they're just like, yeah, you've been out of the game too long. We don't want to waste our time with you anymore. So, but who knows? Maybe with Tom Brady, you're going to have opposition to that. But I'm just saying, Tom Brady is a competitor in every sense of the word, and I can definitely see a possibility where he doesn't want to hang up the shoes just yet, and we get a nice another 1 to 2 seasons out of him.
Yeah, you do make a good point because if he does come back, listen, I didn't even think about this. Like, thank you for bringing this up because, like, I thought like he might go back to the Buccaneers, but you make a good point. Like, what team is going to suit Tom Brady? Because, like you said, Buccaneers might go into rebuild. I mean, they're going to go into rebuild because they can't really keep all the players they have with the salary cap. Aaron Rodgers is up in the air. He's not retiring, but what team he's going to, I don't know. So the question is, I mean, where would you? I mean, would he go to the NFC or stay in the NFC? Do you think he's gonna? And plus, you have all these new coaching hires.
You gotta think about a year from now because he's not gonna come back this season. And if he does come back, what teams do you think would be in line to be in a championship window that don't have a quarterback? I mean, you can. Who knows what the Vikings' future is with Kirk Cousins? Maybe Kirk Cousins. I think they might re-sign him, but if they let him walk, there's going to be a quarterback hole that needs to get filled. And I don't know if Tom Brady wants to go back to Minnesota. I think he likes being Tampa Tom. He loved Florida. I don't know if he would want to go to Minnesota to win another championship, but that's definitely a possibility that could be on the table. I mean, Denver's always a team that's looking for a quarterback, but I think they're still in a rebuilding phase. We talked about Las Vegas, but that's definitely going to be – I feel like Las Vegas is definitely going to look either to sign an Aaron Rodgers or a Russell Wilson, or they might just stick with Derek Carr because Derek Carr had one of the best seasons of his career this year. But Tom Brady, he's got to think these things because I think he's a smart guy. Don't get me. He's one of the smartest guys in football because he's able to play for this long. You got to be smart. You got to know how to take hits. You got to know the playbook. You got to know all these things. You got to be smart. And I know Tom Brady's smart. If he knows what his body's limitations are, if he can come back for another season, I think maybe he would. He would come back next season, I think, if he knew his body would. So there might also be something health related that Tom Brady's starting also to consider that could probably hinder him from coming back, Jay.
Yeah, because, I mean, as the league progresses, I mean, there's going to be faster linebackers. I mean, they want to get to the quarterback. I just feel like the best option for Brady is just to sit back for a couple of years, retire, and just – I mean, I know, like you said, like Tom Brady, like, so we have these players that, like the Tom Brady, the Michael Jordans, the LeBron James, the GOATs that separate them from other players. They are hungry. They want more. Strive for greatness, or for what LeBron's famous motto is, and that's what Tom Brady does. I mean, the man's already great, already. But like, I don't see him sitting and watching football next year. He could come back. He said never say never. And you got to think about LeBron James is like 37, 38. It's the way they treat their bodies. It's the way they put money into their money. They invest their money into their bodies. And yeah, like, when it comes to Tom Brady, I don't know. I feel like he's just enjoying retirement, spend time with his kids. Because you never know. Like we saw with Kobe Bryant, like it's like a part of his life, like family, you can't take stuff for granted, man.
Yeah.
And Tom elaborated on like his wife taking hits, getting concussions and stuff, and like, I don't know. I feel like family's important, man. Like that's how I live by family over everything. So I feel like Tom Brady should, take a chill pill, relax. You had those 7 rings, and maybe in a couple years come back. Maybe you can pull like a Jordan and come back and retire, come back in a couple seasons. But I just don't see it happening. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Tom
Because
Brady.
you only get older, like you don't get younger. So
Yeah, that's how time moves. Tom Brady retired last week, had some reconsiderance, but we don't know what the future may hold for the GOAT. Hall of Famer, definitely. Possible return, maybe not. Well, moving on. Our second to last story here on our NFL rap sheet is just that. What was that Pro Bowl, huh? I didn't watch any of it. Not at all. I never watched Pro Bowls, but it's just become an issue that why do we even have one? Like it doesn't do anything. Like, it's just an excuse for the NFL to try to get more viewership. I like the skills challenge. That's always fun. Dodgeball, fastest man challenge. Those are always cool things to do. Like the little passing challenges. Those are always fun. But the Pro Bowl itself is just a joke. I mean, the AFC beat the NFC in the Pro Bowl in Las Vegas on Sunday, 41-35. And the game was, for lack of a better word, a joke. There were a lot of two-hand touch, no contact, a lot of easy stuff. It was an all-star game, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's still a game. Like I want to see some competition out of these guys. Problem is, you don't want these guys getting hurt, and I get that. Teams don't want their guys risking injury in a game that's meaningless. MLB All-Star Game, NBA All-Star Game, NHL All-Star Game, at least those are all games where you can see that there's competitiveness in that. The Pro Bowl, it's hard to replicate that because football is such a gruesome, violent sport that you just can't recreate that in an exhibition setting like the Pro Bowl. So I don't know about you, Jay. I just want to know, bounce some thoughts off you about what you thought about the Pro Bowl, what you want to change, and do you think the Pro Bowl is still a thing that should happen anymore?
yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Like to be honest, I only watched like a couple, like maybe a quarter of the Pro Bowl. I mean, it was depressing to watch. Like just like JJ Watt, I think he tweeted out during the game. He was like, "This game is whack." I mean, think about it. There's teams like just like I said last week about like the NBA All Star games and how like I mean, there's a little bit of competitiveness in the NBA, but just back in the day, like players would like you. There's the best athletes in the NFL got picked for one day out of the year to come together and play a competitive game, and now it's just soft. Like back in the day, like I've seen like what old All-Star or Pro Bowl games where like players would actually tackle people like full
Deshaun
throttle
Taylor
tackle.
hit, man.
Yeah, the Sean Taylor hit exactly my
On
point.
that punter.
Rest in peace, man, to him. But yeah, I feel like it's getting softer, and I feel like I get it. That's why our quarterback, because he was picked, he didn't play. He got
Lamar
picked.
didn't play because he also had that ankle issue that was still
Well, that too,
bothering
but
him.
still,
You don't want
that comes
to
my
further
point
tweak that.
about the injuries. Yeah, I get it. People don't want to get injured, and but there has to be some level of competitiveness. I don't know. If the Is there like an award like how like the All-Star game, MLB All-Star game, like if you win, you get like a car or something like that? Like, is there a certain
Well,
award
that's the MVP award. Who wins the All-Star? I think there is a Pro Bowl MVP, but I just don't know if there's like much to it. It's just
yeah,
you get the award and you sort of just go off in the sunset for your off season.
yeah, I do like you said, like the All-Star festivities or Pro Bowl, like the skills challenge, the fastest man challenge, a couple good catches, boss like Stephon Diggs. It was pretty fun to watch. Those are cool to watch. But the Pro Bowl is just like, I don't know. It's just like you said, two-hand touches. That's not football. I don't know. I don't know, man. I feel like they should remove the Pro Bowl.
You got a
That's
point,
my
Jay.
opinion.
You got a point. I think the Pro Bowl. I feel like the NFL does need like an all-star setting, but also it's also screwed up because the Pro Bowl voting is just so bad, and it's always been bad, and people just vote for the players that they know. So at the end of the day, even the voting process is a joke. These guys are going out there and playing in a meaningless game, and in the end, some of these guys who deserve to be there aren't. And it's just a travesty in my mind that players are sometimes their salaries are dependent on if they make the Pro Bowl or not, and they're just not getting in because of the fan vote. And the game itself kind of stinks because it really doesn't mean much. I mean, the Pro Bowl drew in 6.7 million viewers. It's the smallest Pro Bowl audience since 2006. No one's watching the game. That's what I'm saying. NFL's got a problem on their hands. If they want people to be interested in their game, you got to do something in an all-star setting. Maybe like instead of doing you do a Pro Bowl, but you do like flag football, I guess. Because I get you don't want these guys going full speed at each other because the concussion issue. The NFL's always been under heat for concussions, and they're trying to save face by limiting contact, and they can't have guys in a meaningless game going all out and trying to kill each other. Because that just goes against what they said in their release by trying to prevent more concussions.
Yeah, I just say just remove the Pro Bowl as a whole because, like you said, the viewership was low. It has been low. It has been like the lowest it's ever been, and I just feel like do something else that will pull more viewers because people love football, people love the violence of football. I don't know. I think it's removed the Pro Bowl as a whole, but I'm not sure what they would do as a substitute for that game. I'm not sure.
Maybe you could do a flag football game.
And but still, it's two-hand touch kind of in a way.
Yeah, but two-hand touch with pads just looks stupid. And two-hand touch itself is
bad.
That's true. I'd rather play flag than two-hand touch.
That's true.
But the game had its moments. I mean, our guy, our favorite tight end, best tight end in the league, Mark Andrews, led the game in receiving. 5 catches, 82 yards, 2 tutties. Good for you, Mark. Getting a little bit more exposure out there. But Pro Bowl, meaningless, useless. What else is there to say about it? Kind of a joke. So last story for our NFL slate. The NFL Honors, the award show that releases all the single season awards for each player, is on Thursday. And me and you, Jay, I just want to do a quick little bounce session of who do you think is going to win specific awards. What we're going to do is I think we're going to start with Coach of the Year. Then we'll probably move to Offensive Rookie of the Year, then Defensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and then we'll finally round it out with the MVP. So I'll just start with you, Jay. Who do you think the Coach of the Year is going to be? You're on mute.
Is there a list of the coaches that are in the running?
I think Zach Taylor for Cincinnati. I don't know if they have finalists, but I definitely think we could see right now. AP Coach of the Year finalists. I think Zach Taylor's definitely got to be on there because of the turnaround that's been going on in Cincinnati. Mike Tomlin is definitely going to be another guy that should be mentioned amongst the coaches of the year. Mike Vrabel, another guy, Tennessee Titans head coach, had a great year, number 1 seed in the AFC, despite all the injuries that happened within Tennessee. That should definitely be a guy that gets nominated. So I'll just say it now. Who do you think has a shot at winning the Coach of the Year?
I feel I hate to say it, but I think it's Zach Taylor because the Bengals pre-Burrow, they've been kind of subpar. In the AFC, it's always been the Cleveland, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Bengals were kind of like in the mix, but they weren't really like
Cleveland. You think Cleveland was always in the mix?
well since Baker Mayfield kind of like
They had
we
that
had
one
that
season where they made the playoffs. They were never
well
outside of that one season. They were never in the mix.
well yeah well compared to the Bengals, I mean okay you're right. So Baltimore and Pittsburgh, they've always been like the two teams in the AFC. So the way that Zach Taylor has led their team to the Super Bowl after having a good year, I think he's going to win the Coach of the Year.
What did you see from Zach Taylor as a coach that made you prompt that outside of the Super Bowl run? Do you just think that the
Just
turnaround,
the turnaround, the poise, to keep his teammates or keep his his players focused on the goal. You know, him and with Burrows and Jamar Chase and Mixon, that's a good mix. It's a good combo. And I think that the turnaround is how they beat the Chiefs in the season and they beat them in the playoffs. Come back from the 18-point deficit. 18-point deficit. Yeah, I think that he deserves it. Sucks to say because we're Ravens fans, but got to give these people their flowers as sooner or later. So I feel like he can. I feel like he deserves it.
I like Zach Taylor too, but I'm also going to make a little bit of a case for Mike Vrabel because I feel like this guy also deserves the flowers that we were giving Zach Taylor. Mike Vrabel took this Tennessee team that had the most players on injured reserve in the NFL. They had no Derrick Henry for a good majority of the season, who was their primary offensive weapon. They had Ryan Tannehill as their starting quarterback, and Julio Jones having the worst year of his career on offense. They had no Taylor Lewan at left tackle. This team was ravished with injuries. On the defensive side of the ball, outside of Kevin Byard, the defense really wasn't much. And he took this team to a number 1 seed. Granted, they did lose to Zach Taylor's Bengals, but this Titans team has gone way above the expectations that anyone thought they were going to after the loss of Derrick Henry, to being a number 1 seed and to proving all the doubters wrong. They had some big wins. They beat the Bills that one game on that 4th and 1. Remember that Josh Allen run? They had some key wins. They beat the Rams. They blew out the Rams. I remember that game. Whoa. They blew out the Rams that game. I think Stafford had, like 4 picks that game? Just crazy. Titans definitely had one of the better seasons in the NFL. And the AFC could be also a contributor as to why they were number 1 seed this year. I get it. The AFC was relatively weak. A lot of superpowers went down. And it was all around just a sort of a bloodbath. This team beat this team, this team beat this team. The Jets beat the Titans for some reason. It was just a crazy year all around. Think about that, actually. Now think about it. The Jets beat the number 1 seed in the AFC, and they beat the Bengals. Like, the Jets had the weirdest season I've ever seen. But back to the topic at hand. The Titans and Mike Vrabel deserve all the credit in the world. Mike Vrabel is a hell of a coach. And he's also had to come with some controversy. There's also been skirmishes with him and some other coaches, notably, our John Harbaugh. But we'll let that subside right now. Mike Vrabel gets the most out of his players. Players would love to run through a brick wall for the guy. And he's just a leader in every sense of the word. And I think Zach Taylor is going to get this award because of just this run that Cincinnati's made and just the turnaround that he's had. Because his first 2 seasons were horrible in Cincy because of just what was going on. But this turnaround is definitely what's going to give Zach Taylor a little bit of an edge over Mike Vrabel. But I just felt the need to just give Mike Vrabel his flowers now because he just deserved it. One of the great coaches in the game. I think he's going to be with Tennessee for a really long time, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, come to think about it, I think he'll fall to number 2 behind Zach Taylor, but you're right, he, didn't have Derrick Henry for a majority of the rest of the season, and he still made it to a number 1 seed. So, I mean, but just the fact that I feel like the edge over Vrabel is just how the Bengals had a kind of like up and down season, and then they got better towards the end of the season, and now they're in the Super Bowl. Like, people thought that. Even I thought when I did my predictions, like Chiefs are gonna smack the Bengals because it's the Chiefs. They're at home. They got Tyreek Hill. They got Travis Kelce. Like everyone, like I don't know about everyone, but like all the pundits were saying that the Bengals are gonna lose. I mean, even I thought they were going to lose against the Titans because Derrick Henry was going to go off. So I kind of was doubting Burrow and the Bengals, but I mean they deserve to be in the Super Bowl, and I feel like Zach Taylor deserves to be like one way to put a shame on the season, Coach of the Year and Super Bowl ring. That's awesome. But
yeah, sounds great. I mean, Zach Taylor definitely did what it was asked of him, and he had one of the great turnarounds in the NFL this season. All right, so the next award we're definitely going to look at is Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Jay, tell us why it's Jamar Chase, and give us why.
You're not even giving me an option to choose. But no, I mean, what other option is there? I mean, Jamar Chase, he's a man. Him and Joe Burrow are legit. Here, you can take I'm gonna look up the stats real quick, so I don't have to.
Yeah, Jamar Chase. This was a question last season. Remember when when the Offensive Rookie of the Year was in question, whether it would have been Justin Jefferson, who had one of the great rookie receiving seasons ever, or Justin Herbert, who had one of the greatest rookie quarterbacking seasons ever. And there was definitely one of the debate: would it be Justin Herbert? Would it be Justin Jefferson? And I think there's somewhat of another conversation now. Is it going to be Jamar Chase? Is it going to be Mac Jones? Najee Harris gets a little bit of discussion here and there, but I don't think Najee Harris is even close. I think Jamar Chase is definitely Offensive Rookie of the Year. If there is a season for a wide receiver to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, this is it. And if there's no other choice in my mind, if a receiver can win Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jamar Chase has to win it right now. Jamar Chase I think he has the rookie record for most receiving yards in a season. I think he has the rookie receiving record for most receptions. This guy's been a machine, an animal, and he is the main reason why this Bengals team had this turnaround. Joe Burrow finally had a weapon, a number one receiver he could throw to, and that allowed this offense to explode. T. Higgins has emerged as one of the great number two wide receivers because of that. Tyler Boyd's been one of the better slot receivers this season because of that. Joe Mixon's running game has opened up because of it. The offense has now been built around Jamar Chase, and that's what has caused this Bengals team to go all the way to the Super Bowl. So Jamar Chase, without a doubt, in my mind, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Mac Jones, not even in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right. I'm looking at the stats. Jamar Chase had for the season 1,455 receiving yards. So I mean, he's leading the receivers in that category. So I mean, I feel like he deserves it, man. Definitely. He's definitely my choice for Offensive Player of the Year.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jamar Chase definitely having one of the great receiving seasons. And if he doesn't win it as a receiver, there's no chance for another receiver to win it because this guy has carried this offense. And Mac Jones, for the last half of the season, last few games, kind of fell off. And they were saying Mac Jones for a while, but he didn't finish the season strong. So Jamar Chase, Offensive Rookie of the Year. So next award, Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think this one's another easy one, and I think it's Micah Parsons. Guys even being in talks for Defensive Player of the Year. That's just how good he's been this season. I think he's had 12 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. He can play Mike. He can play edge rusher. He does whatever you ask from him, a real Swiss Army knife of sorts. Micah Parsons, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and I think it's without contest, Jay.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like it has to be either Micah Parsons or Trayvon Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs isn't a rookie though.
He's not a rookie.
He's a second-year guy, so he can't win it.
I have to go Micah Parsons.
Yeah,
because like he's on my boy Big Maz's team.
Yeah, and Maz was here. Maz would be going off on like a nice 6-minute rant on how great
6 minutes.
Micah Parsons is, and how he's one of the great players in the game right now. And, Maz,
But
get your Wi-Fi fixed so you can be here.
yeah, man. Anyways, you're getting fine anyway, so it's all right. It's all good, bro. Anyways, a little side note, but yeah, Michael Parsons. I feel like he deserves it. I mean, who else is in the running with him?
For Defensive Rookie of the Year, I think
Oh,
Odafe
it's
Owe.
T.J. Watt, right?
No,
T.J.
that's
Watt?
Defensive Player of the Year. That's Defensive Player of the Year.
See, I'm confused.
It's Defensive Rookie of the Year. Best Rookie. Odafe Owe is, I think, also in nomination for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think I forgot who else, but I think it's a guy on I don't remember, but I know Odafe Owe is definitely another guy in Defensive Rookie of the Year. Patrick Surtain as well. Guy in the Broncos, cornerback. Patrick Surtain, Odafe Owe are two other nominees for Defensive Rookie of the Year. But I just think none of those guys are even close to what Michael Parsons is putting up. The production that the Cowboys defense, the turnaround of that Cowboys defense. Last season, the Cowboys defense was by far the worst defense in football. They were letting up close to 40 points per game and over 400 yards per game. It was bad. It was looking bleak. Michael Parsons, in 1 year, along with Trayvon Diggs, and along with another guy, Leighton Vander Esch and DeMarcus Ware. Not DeMarcus Ware. What am I thinking of?
Lawrence.
DeMarcus Lawrence, yeah. They have turned this defense around to be one of the better units collectively in football right now. I think they had a top 5 defense. They were 32nd last year. They're 5th this season. Michael Parsons is definitely the reason for that. And I think for that reason, he's Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, well said. Well said. I can't agree more, man.
All right, so moving on, we're just gonna go to Offensive Player of the Year. I think that Cooper Kupp's definitely in that conversation. Jonathan Taylor is in that conversation. I think Deebo Samuel is in that conversation. So, Jay, out of those 3, who do you like the best?
Listen, man, this season has been a whirlwind with COVID. Crazy headline stories. We got AB. We got all these stories. And this is like the first, well, in my opinion, this is the first year that these awards have been are deep. Like you mentioned, Jonathan Taylor on the Colts. You just mentioned
Cooper Kupp.
You just mentioned Cooper Kupp. I'm sorry, I'm having a block.
Deebo Samuel, yeah.
Yeah, deep players, good players. It makes you not want to choose because they're also
pick one. Come on, pick one.
I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna say Cooper Kupp, man.
All right, give us your take. Come on.
Yeah, because Cooper Kupp, he's been going off, man. He's had a phenomenal season so far, not just postseason, regular season. I'm trying to look up his stats as he speaks. So if I'm if you want to take it and then I'll come back.
Sure, I'll take it real quick. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, Jay. I'm in agreement with you, Jay. This season, Cooper Kupp, I think, is the Offensive Player of the Year. Jonathan Taylor, don't get me wrong. Jonathan Taylor has been phenomenal. I think he's right now near. He's close to 2,000 all-purpose yards. He's been a great receiving back. I think he's got 500 yards receiving, along with 1,600 yards rushing. But Cooper Kupp, what can you say? He's been the best receiver in football this year. 1,947 yards. That's second all-time in a season behind the great Megatron. And might I add, both those guys were catching passes from Matt Stafford. But I digress. 1,947 yards, 16 touchdowns. That is one of the best receiving seasons I've ever seen. And we generally give this award to running backs because running backs are definitely the main producers in an offense. But Cooper Kupp has to be mentioned in this case as one of the best offensive performances from a player that in the season. He's come up clutch time and time again for the Rams. He's been the number one target. Now Robert Woods went down for a few weeks and he stepped up big time. He let Odell get his bearings when Odell first signed with the Rams. Cooper Kupp is the offensive player of the year. Deebo Samuel, also another guy that I mentioned, should have been given consideration. Another great Swiss Army knife. He plays running back. He plays wide receiver. I think he had the third most receiving yards in football this year. Another great guy. But Cooper Kupp, man, best offensive season in the league this year, 1,947 yards. No one comes close. Jay, do you want to match that?
Yeah. So yep. I definitely agree with you because he leads the receivers with, like you said, 1,947 yards. He's done it all. He can do it all, and like you said, no one can outdo him like right now. Like, and I believe he's still young, so he has time to even up those numbers for sure. Yeah, I think he has my vote for the offensive player of the year.
All right. Well, Cooper Kupp, we wish you the best in Super Bowl 56, but
Yep.
hopefully offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year.
But think about it. We have a potential offensive player of the year and offensive player rookie of the year in the same Super Bowl. That's gonna be crazy, man. That's gonna be crazy.
I mean, that's
it's gonna be a good game.
These offenses are built around those two guys, so
that's a story.
Why they're there.
That's a story.
Defensive player of the year. There's a few guys being up for that. TJ Watt, he tied the sack record this year with Michael Strahan. He also got guys like Micah Parsons, who we just mentioned.
It's easy for me.
As another guy, but also Myles Garrett too. But you think it's easy, Jay? You think TJ Watt?
Yeah, I think TJ Watt, man, just like you said, he just tied the all-time sack stat. Time Michael Strahan. That man, even though he's a rival, he's on a rival team, the Steelers. I mean, that man is a monster, man. Like brother of JJ Watt. He just has the Watt family. Just seems to have like jacked muscles, big creature-like players, man. And I'm excited, man. Was Nick Bosa a part of that or nah?
Nick Bosa's, I think, in the talks for comeback player of the year. I feel like he definitely could make some noise in the defensive player of the year. But I definitely think Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett are probably a little bit ahead of Nick Bosa this time around. But yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you, Jay. I think TJ Watt definitely gets my vote if I was getting a vote in defensive player of the year. This guy has 22 and a half sacks, which is tied for most all time. 5 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries. It's just unbelievable numbers that I don't think. I mean, I think that you're going to see them replicated, but it's just great production from a guy who's just torching right tackles this entire season. I love Micah Parsons, what he's bringing, but I think he's going to get his down the road. He's still young, still a rookie. Myles Garrett was leading us for a good minute, but I think he's sort of fallen off because his sack production went down a little bit as the year went by. But TJ Watt, great right outside linebacker. I think this is maybe his second year in a row if he wins this one, I believe, too. I think he won it last year as well. One of the great players in the game right now. JJ, his older brother, also won 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards. The Watts are racking in the Defensive Player of the Year. So they have more Defensive Player of the Year awards than I think than some of the other great, Deion Sanders, all those guys. They combined have 5 after the season. So I just think great job, TJ Watt. Another fantastic season.
When did they do the award ceremony?
Thursday.
Is it
Thursday?
So Thursday this week. Okay, that's what.
The last award we're going to touch on before we head into our NBA segment. MVP. What do you think, Jay?
So I think the 2 is going to be Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, correct?
Yep.
And Jonathan Taylor and others. I feel like it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be Tom Brady, man.
Okay.
I really do, man. Because think about it. What a way. I know it doesn't work out this way, but like, what a way to retire and ride into the retirement with an MVP. He had a good season. No, you can't go against the GOAT, man. I know they both players lost in the playoffs. So that would have upped their MVP chances, but I think it's based on the season, right? Not not the postseason, right?
I think the postseason might take a little bit of an impact on it. They don't say that it does, but come on, how do you know?
Because I feel like if it did, the awards would be after the Super Bowl. If that was the case,
Yeah,
because it's before the Super Bowl, so I feel like it's based on the season. I think just like the NBA MVP, I think it's based on the season, not the playoffs. But yeah, Tom Brady, he like what a way to end his career possibly as an MVP. Yeah, I think he has it, man.
Here's the thing.
It's gonna be close though.
Brady has Rodgers right now in yards, and I think in touchdowns as well. Tom Brady threw the most yards in a season for his career this year. But Aaron Rodgers, man, this season he had 4,115 yards, 37 touchdowns to only 7 picks. Oh no, wait, to only 37 touchdowns to only 4 picks. 4 picks, not even 7, 4 picks. Like, wow. First team AP All Pro. His quarterback rating ended with 111.9. And the Packers ended with number 1 seed. So Aaron Rodgers has that stacked up for him.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady has the yardage. It's going to be really close, but I might have to give the edge to Aaron Rodgers in this one, Mijay.
Yeah, because well, now you think. I don't want to switch on my answer, but now you think about it. Like Tom Brady threw for 5,316 yards. What's it? 12 interception ratio. His QB rating to end the year was 102.1. So Aaron Rodgers' rating was a little higher by 9 points. You say 111, right? 111.
111, yeah.
So yeah, by 9 points. So that can be the deciding factor. But think about it. Tom Brady lost his players and Chris Godwin and Fournette toward the end of the year, and Mike Evans for like a couple games. And the way they could have tanked, or not tanked, but they could have lost some games. And I feel like Tom Brady. I feel like the way he kept his team together, I feel like he can pull it out. Just because he lost, because Aaron Rodgers had Devontae Adams, he had those players on offense.
Yeah.
So that could be the factor. But like I said, it's gonna be close. But I feel like Tom Brady will pull it out and win it.
Yeah.
No hate on Aaron Rodgers whatsoever, because they're like neck and neck. But I think it comes down to the small things when it comes down to the.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's a few components that are going to be in factors. Aaron Rodgers definitely won the MVP last season, so there could be voter fatigue in there as well. We've seen that in the past. It's going to be close. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. We'll see Thursday night NFL honors. And that's it for our NFL Power Hour. We're going to have some NBA news for you right here. We'll run down the list real quick, but first thing we're going to touch on is the February 10th trade deadline in the NBA. We've had some trades go by, some deals not been made yet. First one I'm going to go to you, Jay, is just this whole James Harden situation. We've talked about this a little bit last week. GM Sean Marks of the Nets has not said that he's going to trade Harden yet. Some news came out that there's a little bit of discussion between Philly and the Nets quickly shut it down. They don't want to trade Harden. Do you think the Nets should trade Harden, or what do you think the deal with Harden's going to be?
So I heard it's going to come down to either the trade deadline or next season in the off season. If the Nets want to win now, I feel like they should keep Harden, because I heard that not mayor of New York, but one of the governors of New York said that they could be lifting the indoor mask mandate in New York in a couple of weeks and maybe in next month. So that means Kyrie can play full time potentially. So I feel like if they want to win now, I think they should keep Harden for the remainder of the season. I know there's been rumors on ESPN and other websites saying that he wants out because of this. Like Kevin Durant's out with an injury, Kyrie's kind of like on a part-time basis, and they didn't really had their chemistry. And think about it, they only played like 30 something games together overall, or 40 something games from the time they all got together. Due to injury and due to other things, Kyrie taking a break for doing political things. But yeah, I feel like they should wait until after the off season because I feel like that'll be a distraction because like think to the team and when Kevin Durant, think about it when Kevin Durant's 100% or close to 100% and Kyrie might be back full time and Harden, well, maybe they'll cook something up for the end of the year. But I don't know, man. What do you think, man?
As a Nets fan, they need to get rid of him. There's no point in keeping him. He's sitting out of games now. There's hamstring tightness.
He's hurt. Yeah.
I don't even know if he's hurt. Like left hamstring tightness just seems like a way for him to just sort of keep sitting out and not really play. It sort of reminds me of what he did in his days in Houston. You know, he was just sort of sitting out for a little bit. It's just the Nets aren't getting it done. They're on a 9-game losing streak. They just got blown out by the Celtics tonight. It wasn't even close. I think they had 26. They were down 26 in the first quarter. It was that bad. The Nets, they need to get rid of him because they need something for him. They can't let him walk in free agency. They gave up too much. I think they gave up LeVert and Jarrett Allen for him. They gave up too much. And those guys are superstars now. They gave up too much now for James Harden to sort of just give up now. The Nets had too much riding on this. They need to get rid of him now. They have 2 days to do it. Make a package. Make something. Just get Ben Simmons for him. I don't care. Just get something for him. You can't let him walk. If they do that, Sean Marks needs to be fired. It's just unacceptable if that happens.
I was gonna ask you, like, if you being a Nets fan, you don't mind Ben Simmons coming to Brooklyn?
The Nets need defense. Their defense stinks. They have one of the worst defenses in the NBA right now. I'd rather have a defensive guard than James Harden, who's a liability on defense.
But without Harden, I mean, we got Kyrie and KD, but like, we all know Ben Simmons can't shoot the ball.
I don't care. The Nets have enough shooting. They have KD, who's coming back soon. Patty Mills, who's been a top 5 3-point shooter this season. And Joe Harris is hurt. He's going to need another surgery, I believe. But you got shooters on this team. You don't have to worry about that. What you need to worry about is getting defense and getting rid of Harden, who could be walking for nothing. He'll be walking for scraps next year. Nets need to deal him, and they need to deal him now, and they don't have much time.
I mean, I don't know why he wanted to. I mean, I know he wanted to come to join with
Well, when he was leaving Houston, he had a few destinations. He had Philly and Brooklyn. I think he wanted Philly more than Brooklyn. Is what they're saying. So, I mean, that could be a factor. He wants to play with Embiid. He wants to play under Doc Rivers, I guess. But the Sixers system is idealist. And who knows? Maybe I could definitely see Harden not loving Houston after 3 months because that guy just can't make up his mind. It's frustrating as a Nets fan because we thought when we got him it was game over, and now he's just sort of he's doing his own thing. You know, James Harden's a great player. He's got the talent. I just don't think he has the drive. And that's
I feel like he'd rather be with Lil Baby and Kanye than be on the court, man. That's what I think, man.
I agree with you.
Making albums.
The beard is not feared right now in the NBA. Well, our second story on the NBA is the blow up of the Indiana Pacers. They just blew up their entire team. I mean, Karis LeVert got sent to the Cavaliers in a trade that sent Ricky Rubio and 3 second-round picks to Indiana. Karis LeVert, a great shooting guard. I think that's exactly what the Cavs need. And then they also sent all-star Domantas Sabonis to the Sacramento Kings for a package that included Tyrese Halliburton. The Pacers also included Jeremy Lamb and Justin Holiday and a 2023 second-round pick in exchange for Halliburton. Guard Buddy Hield and center Tristan Thompson. So Hield's also on the move. He'll be in Indiana. So Indiana blows it up. They get some pieces in exchange for Sabonis and Karis LeVert. And Jay, what do you think of this? Do you think the Cavs made a good move in getting LeVert? Do you think the Kings made a good move in getting Sabonis?
Well, before I do my take, what would you grade this deal or this trade in, man? Like, you know how people grade deals?
I think for the Cavs in the respect for LeVert, I think what they gave up and what they're getting, I think it's an A move for them. I think the Pacers were just trying to clear up a little bit of cap space in regards to LeVert. For them, I think it's just a B move. It's average. The Kings for Sabonis, I don't know what to think of that. That's kind of a D move. Sabonis is a great player, don't get me wrong, but I don't know what the Kings are doing right now. The Kings they're always in a constant rebuild, and it just feels like they're not, moving in the right direction. And they gave him a great young shooting guard in Buddy Hield. I don't know. Sabonis is definitely a great player. I just don't think he's going to turn around that franchise. Pacers are just building for the future. And it's good, Jay. What will you grade these guys at?
So yeah, that was definitely the first trade of the day today. Adrian Wojnarowski broke the news. I don't see the Cavaliers, and I mean I believe you in the report. I just don't. I see the Indiana Pacers and Sacramento what they get. I don't see the Cavaliers in this article.
Cavs got LeVert.
I don't know.
Then the Pacers got back from the Cavs Ricky Rubio, and I think 4 second-round picks, something like that.
Because I know, because I'm reading that that the Kings traded Halliburton.
Yeah, for Sabonis. So the Pacers blew up their team pretty much. They got rid of Sabonis and they got rid of LeVert. They got Buddy Hield. They got a bunch of young guys, a lot of draft.
So they're all going. Because I was trying to do with this article. So they're all going like Sabonis. They're all going to the Kings or the Cavs.
Yes, Sabonis is going. Sabonis is going to the Kings. LeVert's going to the Cavaliers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they traded the Kings traded like Halliburton. Like he's probably one of the cornerstones of young talent on the team. With him, De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield was now gone, and Marvin Bagley. I mean, they had a good team. Like not a good team, but like a team that is young and in the rebuilding phase. But I think it's a D- for the Kings because of Halliburton. Because but then like you said, I mean the Cavs won the deal. They got LeVert. I like him with Mobley. I like him with what's that point guard? Garland.
Garland's a beast. One thing I want to talk about real quick in regards to the LeVert to the Cavs.
Yeah.
2 former Nets are now reunited. Karis LeVert and Jarrett Allen are now reunited.
Oh yeah.
I saw the article that as soon as he heard the news that he was traded to the Cavs, LeVert immediately got into contact with Jarrett Allen, which makes me feel nice. It made me feel nice as a Nets fan that those two guys are reunited again. They were great for us.
Yeah, like you said, Ricky Rubio was in the trade, right?
Yeah, Ricky Rubio got sent to the Pacers.
Well, he's hurt, so I don't know what the Pacers are going to do with him. So yeah, I think the Cavaliers won the trade. I think the Kings lost the trade because they traded away like Buddy Hield and.
Well, no, the Cavaliers traded with the Pacers and the Kings traded with the Pacers. 2 separate trades.
Oh, 2 separate trades.
Yes,
I thought it was
the Kings and the Pacers traded, and the Cavaliers and the Pacers traded. They're 2 separate trades.
Oh, I thought it was a 3-team trade.
I'm just talking about how overall they collectively blew up the Pacers.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what happens to trade deadline. I think it ends Thursday at like 4 or 5.
It ends Thursday. 5 o'clock, I believe. It's usually around that time.
So we'll see if the Lakers do anything. I mean, like we're
Well,
going to talk
there was
about
another
later
big
on.
trade that we're about to touch on soon, so
Yeah,
we'll get to that. The
McCollum,
McCollum
right?
trade.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep.
we'll get to that right now if you want. You want to get to that right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'd take it. Like McCollum. I mean, obviously they're trying to the Blazers are trying to build around Damian Lillard. That's what their front office said. Um, who knows who will get in the draft this year? It's up in the air. But I feel like McCollum. I think when Zion gets healthy, that's gonna be a good team. We got. Well, they traded Josh Hart. Josh Hart, right? He's gone, right?
Yeah. So the McCollum trade here, I got it in front of me. The Pelicans are sending guards Josh Hart, Thomas Satoransky, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, and Didi Louzada in the deal. New Orleans is also sending a protected first-round pick and 2 second-round picks to Portland.
So
New Orleans sent a lot. That's a lot for
that
CJ McCollum.
That is a
CJ
lot.
McCollum's having a down year too. I mean, the Pelicans right now are just not good. They're just one of the worst teams in basketball this year. Zion's never on the court. So what do you gain from getting CJ McCollum for that much?
That's a good question. I mean, he's still a good shooter, but like you said, he's been kind of cold. But I mean, we'll see once Zion gets healthy and they still have Brandon Ingram and Hayes as a center. So we'll see, man. I mean, I don't know who really won that trade. I'm not sure on that.
As of right now, I'm looking at it. I just think the Blazers just finessed the Pelicans. I mean, you're getting Josh Hart, who's a very solid sixth man, I would say.
Yep, I agree.
Thomas Satoransky's a good player. You're getting a protected first-round pick and 2 seconds. I mean, the first-round pick is number 5 to number 14 protected, which I guess it's a lot. But, like, I think for New Orleans, they're going to finish way under 5. I think they're going to be one of the worst teams in basketball. You could probably get a number 3 and number 4 overall pick for that.
That's true. I mean, I'm pretty sure after this podcast is over, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot more crazy trades. So I'm excited to see like what transpires in these next 2 days, or maybe a day and a half.
Yeah, it's going to get crazy. I just want to keep touching on this CJ McCollum. Like, do you think the Blazers now? You think they could potentially deal Dame?
Well, I heard that they want to build around him, get players around him, maybe in the offseason, but I
think Dame's leaving.
Think so?
Dame might not be around for the long haul, so I feel like Dame. You could get something for Dame now. You already just got a huge haul for
I feel like that they should wait in the offseason and trade Russell Westbrook for Damian Lillard for Lakers.
I don't think that's the move. I do not think that's I don't think Russ is worth Dame right now. I know as a Laker fan, that's what you want more than anything.
They need something, the Blazers, for him, so.
I know as a Laker fan, that's what you want more than anything, but
Dame wanted to go to the Lakers, but they got Russell Westbrook, so, I mean, he wanted to go there.
Well, yeah, because Russell was worth a lot less than what Dame is, and rightfully so, because Russ has definitely been bad, to say the least. I mean, you saw, didn't he have like 4 points on Friday night?
Yeah, and got benched in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. What I mean, we talk about Russ so much on this podcast that it sort of drowns out any other NBA news we have. But yeah, so CJ McCollum, the Pelicans give up a huge load for him. So that's kind of brings me to my next topic. We talked about the Lakers real quick. Now that we're almost to the All-Star break, I remember when we started this season, we were talking like a little preseason preview about the NBA. We were like, oh, it's going to be Lakers Nets. Who's going to have the edge? Lakers Nets. Well, they're both stinking it up right now. I just want to say to you, Jay, as of right now in this point in the season, who is more disappointing, the Lakers or the Nets?
Damn, that's a hard question. Can it be both teams? Because
pick a side. Come on, pick a take. Let's go.
I feel like it's the Nets because Kyrie.
All right, there you go, Nets.
Yeah, I feel like the Nets because other than Kyrie's issue with the vaccination and COVID, and before KD got hurt, KD's a phenomenal player, excellent shooter, big man shooter for a big man, 7 foot big man. I don't care if people say he's 6'9" or 6'8", he's 7 foot. He's a shooter, and Harden when he's healthy. It's their fault for freaking hiring Steve Nash as a coach. Phenomenal player. I just feel like
the whole reason why they hired Steve Nash is for him to be a players coach. They wanted a players coach. They wanted a guy to just let the players do what they want to do.
That's why they're.
That's why they stink. That's why.
That's why they stink.
Steve Kerr is like that. But Steve Kerr also knows when to push his guys, and that's why the Warriors are continually one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, so I think that with LeBron and LeBron has had a phenomenal season. 80 went out for a couple games. And Aaron Russell is struggling, but I feel like the Nets. They're in a competitive East where you got the Miami cooking, you got Milwaukee up there, you got the Celtics, the Hornets are kind of like. In the mix with LaMelo, I don't know. I think it's the Nets, man. I think they had the biggest disappointment because this year, all the Brooklyn fans wanted to see the big three together, and fans got frustrated with the whole Kyrie situation, and it's just been a big mess for the Nets. What do you think, man?
Just as you picked the Nets, I was going to pick the Nets, but I feel like we have to cover the Lakers because we tend to do that. The Lakers are definitely the team, in my eyes, that has disappointed me the most. I think the Nets, even though they've had their struggles, they're still sitting over 500 right now. That's not what the Lakers are doing. Lakers right now sitting 2 games under 500 at 26-28. And at this point in the season right now, it's just not looking good. I mentioned it earlier, but Russell Westbrook's game on Friday night against the Knicks was just horrible. Even though the Lakers still won the game, I'm just going to quickly look over it real quick. But I think in that game, Russ had 5 points, shot 1 for 10 in 29 minutes. 4 rebounds, 6 assists. They brought you here, as Maz said a bunch of times, to be the guy that could run and facilitate things when LeBron's on the floor. You can't be putting up 5 points as a number 3 scorer. At least Anthony Davis is getting back up to speed, which is nice to see. He had 28 points in their last game. So right now they're losing. I think actually as we speak, the game's on TNT. They're playing the Bucks. They're losing 78-56.
What score of that game?
Bucks are beating the Lakers 78-56 at half. I'm just gonna look at the live stats right now. I'm just gonna see.
Man,
LeBron's got 13. AD's got 10. Russ got 6. Russ is shooting 2 of 8. His team is bad. The Nets are on a 9-game losing streak. Yes, I get it. But, at least we've had guys miss time. We've had James Harden being this whole drama. But the Lakers, they've just had some player drama. Not even player drama. They've had their players playing. They just stink. AD missed time. Now he's back. Now he's back to full strength. But Russ stinks. This team can't get together all at the same time. I just don't see them moving past the first round this year, just by the way things are going. And LeBron's already starting to say that whatever team Bronny goes to, he's leaving. So, Lakers, LeBron, I think LeBron's already starting to mentally check out of this season. And for Lakers fans, it's gonna be a long second half of the season after this All-Star break, Jay.
Well, after the Lakers beat the Knicks the other night, it was a crazy game, which the Lakers should have dominated because they're playing the Knicks. But a great game, overtime, victory over the Lakers. And even LeBron, in the post-game interview with Malika Andrews, said that, listen, in order to be great, we had to look ourselves in the mirror and take accountability for your actions on the court. He as a leader said players need to take accountability. Accountability means to play your role, know your role, stick to your role, and then try to come together as a team and put it all together. And like we said, I mean, we all thought that the Lakers and Nets were going to be in the finals. They said that the Lakers were the oldest team, which is true. They have a lot of old heads on the team. I mean, I feel like after this year, I wouldn't be surprised if they blow it up and kind of like not start new, but like kind of like add some fresher legs. I mean,
They gotta. They're definitely gonna have to.
they got Austin Reeves, AR-15. They got him. They got Stanley Johnson, which is was on a 10-day contract, but now is signed to the team for good. They have some good pieces like Trevor Ariza, but he's old. He can still.
Trevor Ariza's old. Avery Bradley's old.
But he's still a good defender. Avery Bradley's
guess, but Russ is old. Melo's old. This team is not built to go far. This was their season to have their championship this season. The only young, good players that they have right now are Anthony Davis. Who else can you think of right now?
And LeBron James.
LeBron's not young. He's not young. LeBron's 37. This team is not built to go past this season. They were built to win this year, and they're just not going to get it done. Kudos to LeBron to getting a championship to the Lakers a few years ago, but it's just looking like that might be the last championship he's ever going to win.
I don't know. I don't know about the last. We'll see. After the All-Star break, they really need to have a team meeting and be like, look, we need to step it up. We need.
But how many? They've had so many team meetings. I feel like every weekend I'm seeing a woe tree. LeBron had a team meeting. Russ had a team meeting. Anthony Davis had a team meeting. What's his name? Had a team meeting. Coach. Slipped my mind. Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel's having a team meeting. How many more team meetings do you need? This team's not going to get it done. Sorry, Jay. At this point in the season, you're 26 and 28. You're probably going to be 26, 29 counting this Bucks game tonight, and it's not looking like this team's going to move forward.
But at the end of the day, the factor is LeBron and AD. You still got the two of the best players, probably top 5 best players in the league, or top 20, top 10. So the best. You can't really rule out the Kane. Just like Tom Brady, man. So we'll see, man.
All right, yeah. Lakers and Nets both disappointing. Wow, were we off in this preseason, huh, Jay?
I think everyone was off, man, not just us.
Yeah, but it's been a good season otherwise that. Both of our teams suck, but we're having fun watching basketball every day. All right, so last story of the night. This one's going to be a little bit fun. It's not even really a story. It's just two guys having fun. The NBA All-Star games this year. This Thursday, actually, is the All-Star game draft. LeBron and Kevin Durant are doing the draft again. And they're gonna draft from a pool of players, 4 West, or so it's gonna be 5 East starters and 4 West starters because KD cannot play, so they're just gonna draft an extra starter for the East pool. So me and Jay are going to recreate this. So I guess Jay, you're gonna be LeBron. I'm gonna be KD, and then we're just gonna pick from the pool of players that have been selected. So for right now, I'll just read out the players real quick. The East starters: Giannis Antetokounmpo, DeMar DeRozan, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, and Trae Young. West starters: LeBron, so you're already there. Jokic, Wiggins, Stephen Curry, John Morant. And then the reserves from the East: LaMelo Ball, Jimmy Butler, Darius Garland, James Harden, Zach LaVine, Chris Middleton, Fred VanVleet. And the West reserves are Devin Booker, Luka Doncic, Rudy Gobert, Draymond Green, Donovan Mitchell, DeJounte Murray, Chris Paul, and Karl Anthony Towns. So, Jay.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to let you go first, man, because I have to look at this list real quick, man.
All right, so we're going to pick from the starters first. So right now the starters are Giannis, DeMar, Joel Embiid, Tatum, Young, Jokic, Wiggins, Curry, Morant. You're already LeBron, so LeBron is yours. I got to pick an extra starter because KD's not playing. So with the first pick in our mock draft of all-star players, this is gonna be tough. I think I'm gonna take Giannis Antetokounmpo. I really actually that's not probably that tough. I think Giannis is definitely the number one pick in my eyes. Imagine Giannis; he's just a monster. He's starting to be able to shoot now. He's been driving the lane. He's playing his top tier defense. I want Giannis first pick. Jay, you're up next. So actually, wait. Let me write this down because I feel like we're gonna forget stuff because if we're just rattling off the dome like this, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. I gotta find a pen. So give me your pick, Jay, real quick while I search for a pen.
So I'm gonna go with my first pick, DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan, really? All right.
Yeah, man. He's clutch in clutch time, man.
All right. So team LeBron, you're already gonna have LBJ. You're gonna have DeMar DeRozan, and then I'm team KD, and I'm taking Giannis. All right. So Giannis gone, DeMar gone. Second round here. I'm looking at these pools: Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Trae Young. I think I'm gonna take Stephen Curry. I know he's struggling right now, but he's the best shooter of all time. He can turn it around for me in an instant. I like Steph in this spot.
Okay.
All right, so now Giannis, DeMar, and Steph are gone. Who do you want?
I'm gonna stay big. I'm gonna go Joel Embiid, man.
All right, Joel Embiid. I like
it.
Why'd you take Joel here? You need a big man?
It's pretty obvious, man. Like he's going off in the 76ers right now, man. He's dominating the paint. She's going off, man. Gotta go big.
Yeah, I like that sentiment. That's why I'm taking Nikola Jokic next because I think Jokic is even better than Embiid right now. I love Embiid, but Nikola Jokic has the tools of a guard and a 7'2" frame. And match that with Giannis and Steph right now. I think my team right now is looking stacked against yours.
Mm-hmm. Well,
all right.
Well, we'll see with my next pick.
All right, your next pick.
My next pick is going to be,
okay. Who are you taking?
Ja Morant, man.
Ja Morant. All right.
Have a little combo guard can shoot and dunk it.
That's going to match well with DeMar. Two nice little slashers that can get to the rim. But I like my defensive unit, Giannis and Jokic, that can sort of step up and try to combat those guards.
With Joel, well, Nick, I'm not sure what their stats are with the 3-pointers, but Joel can shoot 3. I think the Joker can too. But.
Yeah. All right. So you have LeBron, DeMar, Joel, and Ja. I have Giannis, Steph, and Jokic. I'm going to take with my next pick. So as of right now, who's still available? Wiggins right now is still available. Tatum and Trae Young are still available. I'm going to take Jason Tatum. Tatum is a great shooter. Gives us a little bit more size. I like his ability to shoot off. Not a great defensive player, but I don't think I need defense right now because I got Giannis and Jokic in there. So I think your team defensively is better than mine, but the offensive firepower that I got right now, I think, is too much to pass up.
For my other guard, I'm going to do Trae Young.
All right, Trae Young, yeah. I figured. I mean, right now, I think Andrew Wiggins is a little out of sorts here in all these starters, so I guess I'm stuck with Wiggins right now as my last starter. So
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Wiggins is nice, man.
He's okay. He's good. He's having a good season. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think he should have been a starter this year. That's just all I want. We discovered we covered that a little bit in the last podcast. Go give that a listen when you can. But all right, so our starters here. Your team LeBron. You have LeBron, of course. DeMar, Joel Embiid, Ja, and Trae Young. I got Giannis, Steph, Jokic, Jason Tatum, and Andrew Wiggins. I wish I could get Maz on here or like Matt or something like that just to see like who had a better draft here and just like give us a little bit of input. But do you want to go to reserves real quick? We can knock out these reserves.
We're
all right. So with the reserves, we said LaMelo Ball, Jimmy Butler, Darius Garland, James Harden, Zach LaVine, Chris Middleton, Fred VanVleet, Devin Booker, Luka Doncic, Rudy Gobert, Draymond Green, Donovan Mitchell, DeJounte Murray, Chris Paul, and Cat. Since I went first in the starters, I guess I'll go first again.
All right.
So out of these players right now, I'm gonna take Luka. I think Luka got snubbed from that starter spot. I think he should have been in over Wiggins. He's definitely, I think, the best reserve out of here. I said how much I love Luka before. I'm taking Luka.
Gosh, Draymond Green, he's not playing, so I'm not sure who's going. Oh, okay. Did not say Murray in the spot.
Not playing.
Okay.
Yes. So DeJounte Murray.
So for my first reserve pick, I'm going to pick LaMelo Ball.
Really? That's pretty high. That's pretty high for LaMelo.
A little bit of passing, a lot of passing, a lot of he can shoot the threes, he can dunk it.
All right. Okay. I think it's a little high for LaMelo though. I mean, he's a great player. I think he got in because KD's not playing.
But still, look at this. I mean, I think the Hornets season has been overlooked by all the other teams, man. They're low key, they're nice, man.
All right. Well, you take LaMelo Ball, and I think for that reason, I might have to go with someone else. I think I'm gonna go with Devin Booker.
Okay.
Devin Booker, great shooter, great scorer. He's having another great. I think he's averaging close to 28 points per game right now with Phoenix Suns. Suns are 1 seed right now. I'm loving Devin Booker right now, and I think he's better than LaMelo Ball. But that's up to you, bro. I ain't judging these picks. These are your picks as well. All right. What's your next pick?
My next pick is going to be. I'm gonna go big. I'm gonna go Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert. Yeah, so you want some more size coming off the bench here?
Defensive player of the year a couple of times, helping out Joe Embiid with the backup. I wish he was a starter, but
Jokic is having just an insane year. I mean, how do you make him a backup?
All right.
All right, so you take Rudy Gobert. Just looking down, up and down here. I'm going to go Zach LaVine.
Okay.
I'm loading up on guards here in my backup. I'm gonna have to draft tight eventually, but I just like Zach LaVine's scoring production this season. Him and DeMar have meshed really well. I like Zach LaVine, just good slasher. He can shoot from the outside, and I think he'll be another great shooter coming off my bench. I got a lot of shooting. What can I say?
Yeah. How many picks do we have left? Right
now, who's available at the moment? Jimmy Butler, Darius Garland, James Harden, Chris Middleton, Fred VanVleet, Donovan Mitchell, DeJounte Murray, Chris Paul, and Karl-Anthony Towns.
All right, so my next pick is going to be Chris Paul. Having LeBron and Chris Paul on the same team, have the banana boat roster.
Just missing Carmelo and D-Wade.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Well, Carmelo's not an all-star this season.
So CP3, I got CP3 as my next pick.
All right, so you take CP3 here. I think here I definitely need a little bit more height coming off my bench. So for this reason, I think I'm going to take Cat.
Okay.
Nice stretch big. He's in the 3-point competition this year. Just got announced today. I like Cat. He's not a great defender, but you know what? He's just going to have to back up Jokic for now. I just need some size.
Got you.
All right, what do you got next?
My next pick is going to be Jimmy Butler, man. He's a dog, man.
Yeah, I kind of figured you were going to take Jimmy here. And why do you take Jimmy? Just because?
No, he's a dog, man. He's a dog on defense. He can shoot. He can dunk. He just likes that. He brings that fierceness to the team.
I agree with you. I mean, he's a natural born leader. Great pickup. So now that leaves me now. I got decided here. I could take Donovan Mitchell. I could take DeJounte Murray. Or I could take Chris Middleton, Fred VanVleet. You know what? I'm going to take Chris Middleton here. I feel like everyone right now is watching this and it's just like, Why are they not taking James Harden? Because I don't like James Harden right now. I don't want him. I'll take Chris Middleton. I need some more size. I like Chris Middleton. He's a good shooter as well. I like slowing up on these shooters. Great defensive piece. I need some more defense as well. Chris Middleton, you're my pick.
So you got Chris Middleton as the next pick?
Yep. So right now, left for us, you could use Fred VanVleet, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, and DeJounte Murray are still available.
So I'm gonna take Fred VanVleet, man.
All right, Fred VanVleet.
A little bit of shooting, a little bit of passing skills. Kind of he can shoot the deep three ball, low key. And my Drake look alike, man.
All right. So that leaves us left to three more players: Donovan Mitchell, DeJounte Murray, and James Harden. So and Darius Garland. My bad. And Darius Garland. I forgot about Darius Garland. You know what? I'm gonna take Donovan Mitchell. I need another shooting guard. I don't need another real huge ball dominant guy. Guy could just come in and just knock down shots for me. That's what I need right now. So Darius Garland, DeJounte Murray, or James Harden.
I'm gonna have to go with James Harden, man.
All right, so finally James Harden's off the board. We beaten around the bush. Here you go. Why do you want James Harden?
He brings more shooting, man. There's more shooting. If you have Curry and Doncic, I need more players to shoot. I know I got Trae Young, Chris Paul, but Harden. I mean, I feel like when the game comes down like to the third, fourth quarter, and they need more shooting, Harden will be a key factor in that.
I just don't want my team. I don't want my team. I just don't like him right now.
All right, well, that's your loss.
It's personal right
now. That's your loss, man. That's my win, your loss, man.
Final round. DeJounte Murray or Darius Garland. I'm going to have to go with Darius Garland. Another great point guard. He's having a breakout season right now with the Cavs. I'm liking what I'm seeing from him. DeJounte Murray, he's having a good season. Don't get me wrong. He's got him as a replacement because Draymond Green's going to be out. I love Darius Garland. I'm taking him. So, Jay, that means you're stuck with – I'm not going to say stuck with because I don't want to bash the man, but you're stuck with DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. He's a good player. He can shoot. He's a dog on offense. Can score the ball with proficiency or efficiency. Yeah, so I mean, I got him.
Well, that'll be it for our final All-Star Game mock draft. Our first ever JJL Sports Show mock draft All-Star team. So this is our final. So Jay was Team LeBron. He gets Team LeBron. So he gets LeBron, DeMar DeRozan, Joel Embiid, John Morant, Trae Young as his starting five. Then on his bench is LaMelo Ball, Rudy Gobert, CP3, Jimmy Butler, Fred VanVleet, James Harden, and DeJounte Murray. I got Team KD, even though KD's not playing, so I had to pick in the first round, so I took Giannis. So I have Giannis, Steph, Nikola Jokic, Jason Tatum, and Andrew Wiggins, with my reserves being Luka Doncic, Devin Booker, Zach LaVine, Karl Anthony Towns, Chris Middleton, Donovan Mitchell, and Darius Garland. Jay, how'd you like the teams?
I mean, I think they're all right. It should make for a fun.
I feel like we should leave the fans up to a vote here as who do you think which team would win?
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Possibly on my Instagram, I can do a poll maybe, and then
we'll see which team is liked better by us. I can send you a picture.
If y'all want to follow me on Instagram, people here in my class or anyone, my Instagram is JJL_XO, and I'll post a poll, and then y'all decide. I guess Ann will send me the picture, and then of the two teams, and then y'all can decide who has the better team. But this is not the real rosters. This
is just us having fun
for fun.
I want to do more stuff like this in the future. Have a little fun, do little games like this where we could just sort of have fun, lay back, have some conversations about players, and not have to just report the facts. You know what I'm talking about, Jay?
Yeah, that's fun, man. That's fun. It's fun. But we'll see. We'll see what the voters vote, man. I feel like they're kind of even with Joel Embiid, and you got the Joker. I mean, that's gonna be a battle of the bigs. I feel like my team is more big because we got LeBron, obviously.
Your team is definitely more defensive oriented. My team's more shooting oriented.
I mean, I got shooting too. I got Trae Young. I got
but I got Luka, Devin Booker, and Steph. Like,
true. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll leave it up to the votes of the fans. Well, that's all we have right now for the JJL Sports Talk Show. I'm Anthony Cafone, who's been hosting tonight. Jay is my partner. Well, I should say Jay is the leader of this all, but he was sort of helping out tonight as well. No Maz tonight. We'll get that sorted out. No Matt tonight. He was in another state. Things came up. It happens. But glad you guys could tune in. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Jay, any last remarks?
Yeah, I was gonna say we gotta have Matt can hide from us. We'll see him tomorrow. We'll have a talk with him tomorrow.
Yeah, big confrontation with Matt tomorrow.
But yeah, I mean, like Ant said, I mean, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you haven't, let your friend know, let your significant other know we are on air. And yeah, I'm Jordan. I got my boy Cafone, and we out, man.
See you guys. Have a good week.
See y'all next Tuesday.